Welcome back to the Bay Home. Today I'm taking you along with me as I am making dinner in the morning, and then I will also be making breakfast. And this is one of the best ways just to ensure that dinner is ready to go, especially if you have a super busy day. Today actually is pretty clear for us, but I just wanted to have this done and not have to stress and worry about dinner. The way I'm eating currently is that I only eat breakfast and lunch. So to take the stress of making dinner off of me is huge. So I'm just throwing in a classic chuck roast. So I'm putting in two chuck roasts into my slow cooker. And while I'm doing this, you'll hear the kids in the background. They're playing a new board game we got. Um, I need to cut up some celery, so I'm going to go ahead and start on that. And these wooded cutting boards I absolutely love. I got them at Walmart, and they were a really good price. There was a 2-pack of them. And they're just nice to cut on. The plastics just are not good for us at all. And when you cut on a plastic cutting board, all those microplastics are going directly into your food. And it's just crazy when you research what plastic is doing to us. So I highly encourage you to research that and make the decision that you feel is best for your family. This is just a little thing that was easy for me to change out, so went ahead and made that change. The celery I got from Walmart, and I love it because they have organic options at our Walmart. Walmart's just getting better in general, I feel like, with organic options, but um, it was just already pre-cut as far as like the stalks were already stripped. And then I just rinsed it off really quick, and I'm just chopping it into the size I want it for the slow cooker. So it's super quick and easy to do. So now I'm just going to slide that right into the slow cooker. Um, I've forgotten how nice and simple the slow cooker is. I use my Instant Pot a ton, but I can't find the seal valve for it. So if I don't find that, I'm gonna have to look online. No big deal, and find something. Anyway, back to the food. I just simply rinsed off these potatoes. They weren't too dirty, so I didn't really have to get a scrub brush out. Sometimes if they are dirtier, I will get a scrub brush. And again, these are just organic from Walmart. Not too crazy. I'm trying to cut out these parts that are a little bit viney, like a little bit of growth on there, just to make it so that it's all good and tastes well, and just cut out any bad spots. But you don't want to cut these super small just because it's better to have them more chunky. And I'm just going to add those to the crock. It is Friday over here, and Abe is finally home for a weekend. I swear it's been like a month and a half or longer since we've had a weekend. So today we are just doing this meal prep, and then we are planning to get outside and get the backyard prepped. We're trying to put up an above ground pool this summer. And so we need to clear a bunch of giant rocks, and we need to flatten the area out and add, like, we have some leftover sand that will probably just lay underneath it to make it all level. And then we'll set up that above ground pool. And we're super excited to get it done just because it gets so hot out here. We don't have any shade where we're at. We don't have full grown trees or anything. And so it's very nice to be able to have something to do in the middle of the heat, to be able just to go out and take a nice cold swim. And so I'm looking forward to that, entertaining the kids most of the summer. And then other than that, we don't really have a ton of summer plans. I want to make it out to lakes more. We have kayaks for like everyone and paddle boards for a couple. So I would love to make it out to go do some lake time. Um, it's hard to balance, I feel like, between Abe working and then like the weekends, like wanting to get house projects done and homesteading stuff done, but then also like family time together. So he typically has Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. So my thought is Friday could be a family fun day where we go and do fun things like that. Saturday can be more of a project chore day, and then Sunday we can have church in the morning and then continue doing any projects that need to be done, and then just do a nice family Sunday dinner. So that's kind of my thoughts and plans for weekends moving forward, but it's just hard. Sometimes it's like you get invited to different things and it just throws off your rhythms and routine, but it's life and it's good. So, since we are a large family and I'm doing large family cooking here, I am using this entire bag of potatoes. I like these small ones just because I feel like they're easier to get to the size that I want, and it's just what's available in the organic section, is these smaller ones. But I use the whole entire bag. Obviously, if you're a smaller family, you could use half a bag, and then, or if you don't really like potatoes, just omit them altogether. Um, you can even do this like if you didn't like potatoes, say you could just put the end result over rice, or just eat it how I do, which is with no carbs like that. I won't eat the carrots either, but I'll probably have the celery with it. Just because of what I'm doing to try to lose weight, if that's a part of my goals and my plan. But the kids enjoy all the things, the potatoes, the carrots, and the celery. So, and we have onions in there too that we're gonna add. So that'll be nice. And I am really excited that my neighbor, she told me about these frozen onions that Walmart does have. Um,
Mom, show them what you have.
can you see it?
Yeah, they can.
Nice onions.
And then we're gonna put it in.
Maybe if I can get it open.
You should actually, do that. Like, get it nice and do it.
Let's go
Yeah.
in the area.
Yeah, if it goes up here, it's still in the area.
No, you have to just tie with it. I didn't know anything.
Okay, and then
So I want you to know.
we are going to take this. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Beef broth. Shake it up. Open it.
We're gonna make real money.
So my daughter's comment there was just kind of funny because she was asking why we record videos and put them on YouTube, and I said, "Well, I'm hoping to make money." And she doesn't understand the whole concept of it all, but and a lot of people actually don't, is that you just make money from viewership because of ads, and the ads will pay you. And even blogs, like when you look up a recipe, that's why a lot of times some of them will have a lot of ads because they are making money off those ads. Um, so we were just talking about the whole purpose of recording and doing all this, and I just love their sweet little minds and how they think. So I'm just washing this cutting board off really quick. I find that as soon if I can just wash stuff as soon as I use it and as soon as I'm done with it, it just makes life so much better and easier. And I am in a phase of life now where I can do that for the most part. I do have a 1-year-old still. And obviously sometimes there's more urgent needs that the family needs, but it's nice to be at this point where before I felt like I was always needing to hold a baby or nurse the baby. And so it made it really hard to get into these rhythms and routines that I desired, but it just felt almost impossible. So I encourage you, if you are in that place, to give yourself grace, to take the time just to love on your babies, to nurse them and nourish them, because that is work and you are doing something. And it sucks to just have like a pile of dishes waiting for you and to have it build up, but it's okay. You are going to get through this. And really, when you do have that pile of dishes, like if you set a timer, it doesn't take you as long, nearly as long as like our brains make it us feel like it's going to take. So, just enjoy that time that you're in if you're in that phase because it goes so fast. That first year is the quickest year, and so much growth in that first year for the baby. and changes and milestones, and even for you as a mom. So just make sure you keep rested and nourished and that you take care of your emotional well-being. And I am now a huge, huge advocate for what you eat matters. And I used to be really good about it. When I had my first 6 kids, I was very strict about what I ate and what I had foods I would not eat. I cut out a lot of processed foods, and I did great as far as like maintaining a healthy weight and all that. But when I had my sixth baby, my husband was actually deployed, and I had a really hard time with his deployment. And there was a lot of stress. And just a lot of factors that played into everything and just being postpartum and mostly alone. Thankfully, my mother-in-law came and helped me for a little bit, and then my sister was able to help me, my younger sister. But um, all that to say, I let food be my comforter, and it destroyed and wrecked me because I was eating crap food, not real food, frankenfood, right? And so my encouragement is to eat as much real food as possible. I cannot even tell you the difference I feel in my mental clarity. And for me, I get eczema on my hands, and I found that gluten is a main trigger for that. And it literally feels like a million paper cuts. It really hurts. And it made it really hard to just function in day-to-day life and do normal things. But cutting out gluten has helped me so much. And I don't do sugar anymore either. And my mental clarity is so much better. So if you're really struggling and you're just tired all the time and you just feel mentally fatigued and exhausted all the time and you feel on edge and irritable, try changing your diet and cut out the seed oils, cut out the crap, cut out the processed junk, and you will see a difference. And once you get there and you start seeing the differences and you start making that change, it's just so worth it to stick to the course and keep going. You do not want to go back to where you were because it's miserable. And there is a day that I did try eating gluten just to see, and my hands, sure enough, they flared up so bad. And then my brain fog was like instant, and I just felt like so tired and just so depleted. So pay attention and listen to your body and listen to what it's saying when you eat certain things because it matters. What you put in your body as fuel matters. And we need to stop viewing food as just pleasure and start viewing it as fuel, especially when we are caring for our little ones. And just if you're married too, and just relationships, right? In general, like you want good, healthy relationships and you want to be happy and not an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, you should just go until all the golden ones are gone and then just got the most wins.
So air fry for let's see, right there. 15. Maybe we'll do that. For some reason, I always forget and I overdo it with all of the plugged in items, and then the breaker goes off. So Abe had to run downstairs and turn it back on for me. Where's Ember? Ember!
Alright, so goes in this one. Goes in this one.
Nice and crispy.
No, you did that way before. You picture every rapper.
Yay! Go! Okay, the game's over.
No? Oh, yeah.
We can just pretend like I have another one. We use the sign as the holiday. Wait, no, we use corn. So,
So washing the eggs, that's a new thing as an adult for me when we moved into this house and decided to do chickens. Before that, we had already always been in the city and we didn't have any farm animals. And so it's funny when you learn these things and didn't realize that like you have to wash eggs. And usually they're pretty simple. We had free range chickens and we like they were pretty clean. But then we had coyotes take out our entire flock. So we have a new batch going, and they will not be free range. They will be in a fenced coop area, and then have their main building coop for nighttime. But anyway, so they do get a little bit more dirty. You still have some pretty clean ones, but sometimes they get pretty dirty. So I like to just have this still brush sponge on hand, and I use one for eggs, and then the other one I use for my stainless steel and my cast iron. So I just make sure to keep them separate, and there's a distinguished difference because one of them's like really used and flat, and the other one's more round. So the more round one is for the pots and pans and stuff, and then the flat one is what I use on the eggs, and it works really well. And usually, like I said, they're all usually pretty clean, but sometimes you do get some that are really bad or really stuck on, so you got to get a little bit of extra elbow grease.
bacon.
Put that first. Also, just so you know.
What?
Just so you know, I don't want to battle. And then also, bang. I get that a golden boy. No, I actually have a different boy. It's Abe and I.
We saw this in the clearance section at Walmart and figured why not? The kids love the YouTube video of it, so we went ahead and did that, and so far they're loving playing it.
Gonna go to the store.
Yeah. Dude. If I put more than me.
All right, it's ready. Come on down.
So this is a nice, simple staple meal. Eggs and bacon. Add some cheese to the scrambled eggs, salt and pepper, and it's golden. We like our bacon nice and crispy. I just want to say thank you all for being here and watching to the end. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you over in the comment section. Drop a comment below. Tell me what your favorite slow cooker meal is, your favorite quick breakfast, and let me know if there are any videos you would like to see in the future.